Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhurbhuvaswaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiya Mamritat. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to each one of you to Friday evening's Yoga Vashisth Satsang. I hope all of you are doing well during this holiday season. Christmas is coming up soon, and I know a lot of people are sick or going through challenges. So, special prayers for each of you. May you all heal. Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti. Energy, devotion, liberation. May divine blessings come to each of you. Hari Om Tat Sat. Our humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to our worshipful Guruji, Swami JyotirmayAnanda Maharaj, to all the sages and saints, all the scriptures, all the religions, all the pilgrimage centers, holy places, and to the divinity in each and every one of you. हमारा दंडवत प्रणाम है उस ब्रह्मांडीय ईश्वरीय शक्ति को, हमारे परम पूज्य गुरुदेव स्वामी ज्योतिर्मयानंद जी महाराज को, सब साधु संतों को, ऋषियों मुनियों को, सब धर्मों को, ग्रंथों को, तीर्थों को, और आप सब में विद्यमान परमेश्वर को कोटि कोटि प्रणाम. With great blessings, when we have done many punyas, many great merits, do we get pulled towards spirituality, and even greater benefits, even greater tapasya, penance, that we get to enjoy deep satsanga from authentic masters. That is a rare blessing for all of us. We are blessed to have Swami JyotirmayAnanda, who at 92, being an enlightened sage, is showering his blessings on each one of us. And I, as his humble instrument, am sharing this, his wisdom, to each one of you. To me, if I can be a dust particle of his holy lotus feet, I would consider myself immensely blessed. And these masters who have reached that state have the potential and ability to take us all with them. The boat of liberation, all of us are entitled to it. It's our birthright. But there's a but, we have to put in our effort. Just like if you want to fly somewhere, you have to buy the ticket, right? Airline ticket. Then you can go. Much in the same way, we have to put in our effort, our sadhana, our mantra, our japa, our reading the scriptures, our pull towards glorious scriptures and joy and happiness, which is our birthright. but we have lost our way. We've lost our way in the world process, like getting lost in the woods. So that's when we need guides, teachers. So, with that gratitude, let us pray to the divine energy, to the God, to the gurus, to all the teachers who are guiding aspirants, and pray for everybody's good health, wisdom, energy. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. May all be happy, may all be disease free, may no one suffer, may all see the good in others. That is what we have to do in a human body. Be selfless, not selfish. Selfless. Give yourself and you enjoy more. More blessings come your way. That is how the divine law works. So, with that prayer, let us read Swamiji's message for today. Swamiji says, each day, each satsang, we start with a profound message that in itself is a satsang if we contemplate on it, meditate on it, and go deeper. So Swamiji, Guruji says, blessed self adorations. You are not confined to the realm of body and mind. See how we get confused. Most of us read this again and again, and yet when we are in the world, we totally forget we are not this body and we are not this mind. So who are we? You are essentially the Supreme Self. What is the Supreme Self? The same consciousness or Atma, that what we call the God particle, that particle that's sparkling inside of you. That's who you are. Not this body or the mind or the intellect or the ego or the senses. All these things that you think you are when you say, I did it, it's because of me. Who is this I? That's what the journey becomes, isn't it? Who am I? I, if you are not the body, the mind, the ego, see, that is the journey. You may call it philosophy, spirituality, whatever name you give, doesn't matter. But we have to break this barrier, this ignorance layer that is covering us all. So whenever you are confronted with the bitterness of external circumstances, how profound it is. Whenever you are confronted, why? Because everybody has to go through pain and pleasure. That is the law of this world. There is nobody who is perpetually happy. There is nobody who is perpetually in pain. So most of us go through this zigzag movement, up and down, up and down. देह धरे का दंड है हर काहू को होए. This body ultimately is transient. So therefore pain will come. Doesn't matter whether you are a billionaire or a trillionaire or a millionaire or a poor person or a rich person or a clerk or a manager or a CEO. Ultimately we are all playing a role on this planet Earth. Just like a show, a play, a movie. Nothing is real, but it all appears so real, isn't it? So people have these false identities, false egos, false me, I did this, because of me this happened. All this is a drama, a play, a show, ignorance. So whenever you are confronted with bitterness of external circumstances, meaning sickness came, you didn't want it, it is here now, so you got to deal with it. So try to direct your mind to the self within. Why? because this will not be permanent. Your sickness will come and go. It will go, you will feel better again, energy will come. So at the time you feel miserable, and then you say, oh my God, nothing is worse than this. But believe me, we are all very blessed sitting here. Imagine being in Gaza for a minute, where all what 80-90% of the people have been displaced twice. Thousands of people have died. Innocent people did nothing wrong. So always count your blessings. You complain you have no shoes, then you see someone who has no feet. Aren't you lucky? You have feet. So we always should look at the glass as half full, not half empty. So when you start writing down your goals, your objectives, what you want to do, and be positive, then you become the architect of your own destiny. आप अपने भविष्य के निर्माता स्वयं हैं. आप अपना भविष्य बदल सकते हो. Don't keep running around, don't keep running after astrologers or this or that. You don't think of astrologers when time is good. Only time when people go want to find out is when they have problem. Swamiji, I'm struggling through this. Then only Swamiji is remembered. Otherwise, they forget him. When times are good. So this is the way of the world, you see. But that is a kindergarten world. When people, but kindergarten is also important, isn't it? You will need to go through first kindergarten, then first grade, second grade, and so on. So each person is at their own level, and at that level you let them be. Don't try to teach 8th grade math or a 12th grade math to a 5-year-old. He will not understand. Much in the same way, spirituality also has to be handled that way. Don't force feed anybody. See, only a thirsty person will value water because he's thirsty. If he doesn't want it, you take it. What good is it? So, direct your mind when you go to the self within. It gives you peace, शांति मिलता है, शक्ति मिलता है. आपके अंदर से ही वो स्रोत है, ऊर्जा का स्रोत आपके अंदर है. Within you, you have the fountain of energy. But like ignorant people, we are trying to find it from outside. So then Guruji says, while performing your duties well, become a witness to your mental worries. So do your duties to the best of your ability. Don't say, I am a good disciple, so God will fix me. Let me not go to the doctor. That is not spirituality, it's foolishness. Because all practical needs have to be addressed. We live in a, no matter how much we say the world is a dream, and the world doesn't exist. That's true, but at the practical level, it exists. While you are dreaming, you are in pain. if a snake bites you, you are in pain till you wake up. So none of us have woken up. So therefore, follow the laws of nature. Do what is required. Be a witness to your mental worries. Watch the thoughts come and go. And disturbed thoughts, isn't it? The minute something wrong happens, what happens? The mind takes over. Therefore, sages and saints say, Man eva manushyanam karanam bandho mokshayoha. Mind is the cause of your bondage. The same mind is the cause of your release. Bandhanay vishaya saktam muktaye nirvishayam smret. So, how do we get tied up? We get tied up by constantly thinking of the objects, and we become a slave, we become bonded. And the minute you give that up, nirvishyam smrit, you get free, liberated, opening the cage of the pigeon. he has wings, he will fly away. So as you succeed in transcending the mind, you will be filled with a spiritual energy. That's the important thing. When you are beyond the mind, transcending the mind means don't involve the mind anymore. Never mind the mind. So when the mind is, you have transcended it, what happens? You feel that energy flow, trickle, come to you directly. And there's a vision that allows you to understand your bitter circumstances and convert them into sweetness. See, two people, how you react. One person complains, the other person looks at it as a wave. Okay, this too shall pass, and he absorbs it. He converts it into sweetness. He sees the positive in everything. Therefore, whenever troubles come, difficult times come, don't complain and be all dejected. If you go back in your own life, this life, you know how many lifetimes, how many different embodiments we have all had? Countless. So we are not even talking about going back into another embodiment. We are talking right in this embodiment, just in this life. How many different scenarios you have crossed over? How many difficult circumstances? Whenever you thought things would not happen, some energy came and guided you and protected you and took you out of that miserable situation. So trust that faith, have faith in that energy, and you be sincere also. Both ways, you have to do your bit, and God also makes sure that his devotees don't perish. That is in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, that shloka, ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham abhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. God is giving you a contract. He's giving you an offer. Whether you accept it or not is up to you. And there is no rush for those people who have not woken up yet. Some other lifetime they will wake up. Nature, Mother Nature is very compassionate. She will keep on giving you chance after chance. But those who are advanced aspirants, who are sincere, who understand that this human body may or may not happen again, who knows when this opportunity will come? Today cash, tomorrow credit. Right now, make hay while the sun shines. That's what smart people, serious aspirants do, and they don't fritter away their time. They are the ones who will break the cycle of life and death. Others will continue to evolve depending on our effort. Pretty straightforward. So, when you are still, your mind will be able to glimpse the majesty of the self. See, what do you mean? So, be still meaning do nothing. What should a lake do for the reflection to come into the lake? What should it do? It should do nothing. Even a little bit of wind will create ripples, isn't it? You throw a stone, it will create ripples. And then what will happen? The image cannot be seen in the lake. But if the lake is totally calm and serene, what happens? Immediately the whole reflection comes inside the lake. That's a very majestic feeling. You see the birds, you see the mountains, you see every little detail can be seen inside the lake as the reflection. Now think of your mind like that. Suppose your mind is calm like that, calm lake. Meaning what? Calm, how will you make mind calm? No thoughts. No thoughts. So when no thoughts occur, what happens? The mind becomes calm. When the mind becomes calm, the majesty of the self is glimpsed. You can see that light. You do that unconsciously every night when you go to deep sleep. When you go to deep sleep, you don't know where time is, you don't know where space is, you don't know where your body is, you don't even know where your bed is, you don't know where your home is, who you are, whether you are a king or a pauper. It doesn't matter. When you are in that deep sleep state, see, this is what I sometimes tell you, at that state there is no difference between a mosquito and us. You may laugh, Swamiji, what is this? You are comparing us to a mosquito? Yes, at that state, when we are both in deep sleep, when a mosquito is in deep sleep, he doesn't know he's a mosquito. When we are in deep sleep, we don't know we are human beings. We are all connected to that one cosmic hum, that cosmic energy that we call Brahman. Brahman meaning the divine cosmic consciousness that transcends Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. It transcends creation, gets beyond that. So when you wake up, you realize you are a human being. I got to wake up, I got to go meet my boss, I got to go work, I have to do this, I have to do that. All that comes rushing in. But while you were sleeping in deep sleep, you were sleeping like a baby, peaceful, calm, and relaxed. See? And when the mosquito wakes up, he remembers he has to come and bite you, suck your blood. You see? So, but when we both sleep, we are one in the same. Much in the same way, everything in the universe is controlled like that only. So when your mind becomes still, that is the question for most of us. How do we meditate? How do we consciously still the mind? Nature, Mother Nature makes you still the mind, otherwise you would have gone mad by now. Do you realize if you don't get to sleep for 2-3 days, you will be a disaster? You will go crazy. People take sleeping pills because they can't sleep. So sleep is a big blessing, but what happens is you are under the influence of ignorance. Why ignorance? Because Mother Nature forces you to do it. She forces you to get transcend time and space. See, like, think of the number 2. Okay, so number 2 is, you write down 2, it's 2, but if you put a minus in front of it, it becomes -2, goes down. Now you put a plus in front of it, it becomes +2. So what is the difference from -2 to +2? 2 doesn't change, same. So much in the same way, when you are in deep sleep state, you are -2. 2 is there, but you are minus. Why? Because ignorance is not removed. You wake up, you are the same you. Nothing has changed. But when you go into meditation, now you are converting that -2 into a +2. Why is that? Because you are consciously, you are aware that you are trying to transcend time and space in a conscious manner, knowing you are not this body, not this mind, not this intellect, not this ego, etc. So therefore, there's a big difference between enlightenment and ignorance. See, simple concepts but very difficult to grasp. Theoretically we may get it, samajh aa gaya Swamiji, we understand what you are saying, but to do it, to experience it, is where the difference lies. So the burden of the world will be lifted and you will enjoy boundless bliss within. Why? Because you are, in essence, you are Sat Chit Ananda. Your nature is bliss, existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. Think about it. We all want to exist. Does anybody want to die consciously? No. If things are miserable, sometimes the thought comes, but then we say, oh no, it's not good. We also, that's why Sanatan Dharma says, don't commit that sin ever. If you do, you are going to be in a much more miserable position. Why? Because we have um, disrespected God's gift of a human body. So, this is what the meaning is, to understand the depth of who we are, what we are trying to do, and to go within. So, we all want to exist. Nobody wants to die consciously, willingly. So, therefore, we want to exist. That is Sat, truth. Then, knowledge doesn't matter whether how much we know or we don't know, but nobody wants to be called an idiot, isn't it so? Nobody. It does. We are not talking about just educational qualifications. We are simply saying whatever your knowledge base is, we have this chit, sat, chit. We want to know more and more about everything. So that is chit, and ananda is bliss. We all want happiness. Who wants to say, God, just give me pain? Don't give me happiness. Have you seen anybody say that? No. So what is the situation then? We all want to exist, we all want to know, and we all want happiness. So what do these three things become? Sat, Chit, Ananda. What is Sat, Chit, Ananda? That is your consciousness, your Atma. Very simple. That's who you in essence really are. Now, what do? We become fakes. We become Xerox copies, photocopies. Xerox used to be a company, but we become fake. We think we are this body, we think we are this mind, we think we are this intellect, we think we are this ego. Then we say, you did this to me, I did this to... All this stuff we are doing is like a show, a drama, and we really don't, we forget that we are Satchitananda, because in consciously you are trying to do that, isn't it? You are wanting happiness, you're wanting to know, and you're wanting bliss, but our method is wrong, our approach is wrong, we are deluded, therefore we are going in the wrong direction. Pretty simple. So why is that? Why are we going in the wrong direction? Because of ignorance. Ignorance. Avidya means knowledge, avidya means lack of knowledge. What does that mean? There are two kinds of knowledge. One is called paravidya, one is called aparavidya. Aparavidya is the knowledge of the world. That's why you see people become very successful. They study, they become financially independent, they become very knowledgeable, they become professors, or they become very wise in the world, how to transact, how to buy houses, what to do. They know everything. But that is called aparavidya. Then there is this knowledge of the Atma, consciousness, God. That is the Vidya of Paravidya, the knowledge of the transcendental, knowledge of God, knowledge of Atma, knowledge of Spirit. That's a totally different thing. Don't confuse the two. Don't think just because somebody has acquired much material success in the world, he is also successful in that field. He may be, he may not be. That has got no relationship to it. You may be a king and may be enlightened, or vice versa. You may be a pauper and you may be still very poor, filled with worldly thoughts, or vice versa. So you cannot judge a person by his financial status. You can't judge him by his external looks. You can't judge him by his clothes or what he is saying. The inner self or the consciousness, ultimately we all have it. Some know what it is, others don't know. Many die. They literally die thinking they are this body. Isn't it so? Thinking this only they die, because they have never taken the time to understand the deep mysteries of the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the scriptures, the spirit, consciousness. What is that? And literally many even look at these saints and says, oh, what are they doing, wasting their life? Look at me, I am so rich, I have so many servants, I have so many nice cars. Look at these people just wearing orange and running around, don't even know if they have enough food to eat or not. That is how they think, which means that they are at this point in time, their intellect is at a very low level. Gradually with time they will understand, but perhaps not in this lifetime, or in this lifetime, who knows. Sage Valmiki was a highway robber and he turned into a very big saint. So we cannot say what each person's potential is. जैसे हम बोलते हैं, we always say a sinner is a saint in the making. So don't be cruel to anybody. Don't criticize any religion. Don't say, oh, we are better, I'm superior, this, that, and all that is foolishness. God didn't make religions. We did. Human beings did. Please understand. God created. Does a Korean eye cry from the head or from the eye? As an American eye, as a Hindu eye, or a Japanese eye? What difference does it make? We are all the same. We reproduce the same way. We are born the same way. We die the same way. We may cremate them differently, but ultimately these material five, earth, water, fire, air, ether only, isn't it? We are all made the same. God's plan does not discriminate. We do. And we are fools. It's very clear. Those who are saying, I'm better than you, my religion is better than your religion, and this and that, those fools doesn't matter whether they are clergies or priests or pujaris or whatever titles you give them, those are just to puff up the ego, nothing more. Because true humanity precedes divinity. How can we be divine if we can't even be good human beings, isn't it? तो पहले अपने आप को एक अच्छा इंसान बनाना सीखें. Let's become good human beings before we even qualify to talk about God. If we can't do that, then shame on us. More people have died in the name of religion than all other reasons combined. Poor God. He must be laughing that look at these idiots. They were given an opportunity to come to me, but they have started fighting about it. I am better than you, you are better than me, follow this, do this, or you'll go to hell. This is the state we are in today. So we are not going to solve that. That's not the focus of our discussion. But enough said. What we do want to emphasize is that anywhere you see radicalism, where anybody says this is the only way to do it, run away from there, because that cannot be the proper answer. So you will enjoy Sat Chit Ananda within you. Coming back to our key Swamiji's message, Sat Chit Ananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. So why do we then make that error? We impose name and form on it. That's called prapanch. Prapanch means the five. Panch in Hindi means five. So we talked about Sat Chit Ananda. Three are existence, knowledge, bliss. If you just stayed at those three, you are God, Brahman, consciousness, because that is the attribute of the consciousness. They are not, let me emphasize these three things. When we say Sat Chit Ananda, in reality are not three separate things. They are one only with three different attributes. Just like you are a mother, a sister, an employee, and a daughter of your parents, etc. But you are only one, same you, nothing changed in you. A wife, whatever, or if you are a husband, if you are a man, you can go through the same thing on your side. So it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the spirit doesn't even have a sex. It's not a male or a female. Your Atma inside doesn't say, I'm a male Atma or I'm a female Atma. It's simply spirit. Spirit. So that's what it is. Now we have imposed a body over it. We have imposed a name on it. And therefore we are calling it Nam Rupa Dhyas, Adhyas. Just like the rope is the rope, but you are perceiving it as a snake because it's in dark. There is semi darkness, so the rope is coiled, it looks like a snake. So therein lies our error. We have given the name and the form, and we forget the Satchitananda. But once you remember that, then there is no such thing as sorrow or pain or anything. Literally, you are Amritasya Putraha. Amrit means nectar. Nectar. Nectar means you are meant to be blissful, not to be in pain, not to cry, not to be feeling sorry for yourself or for the world. It's like a dream only. That's what it is. So you will enjoy boundless bliss within. If you do this properly, if you learn this, what Swamiji is talking about in his, this is a very deep message he's giving each of us. Why? Because we'll all go through pain, isn't it? Deha dhare ka dand hai, har kahu ko hoye. This body itself is made up of pain. When somebody pinches us hard, when we break a hand, when we get sick, when we are born, when we die, old age, disease, death of others, pain, pain, pain everywhere. Ultimately, we also depart. So don't get too hung up on that part, that why is there so much sorrow in the world. Well, when you dream, and it's a scary dream, what can you do? Wake up. That's the only answer. I guess you could choose to continue to sleep, but till you wake up, the problem won't be solved. So, with this, Swamiji says, may God bless you. Thine, Swami JyotirmayAnanda. Hari Om Tat Sat. Glory to our Divine Master. Every satsang we should pray for his long and healthy life, because he continues to bless us, um, and to give us the energy. So all this expansion of consciousness, whatever, I have been with my divine guru for about almost 30 years now, I would say, and everything changes in a beautiful way. Beautiful way. It's like, you come as a crow and you fly out as a swan. That's the glory of satsanga. That's the glory of deep scriptures. But we also have to put in our effort. We have to be sincere, and we have to believe in it, believe in the journey. And fall, we must. We'll fall. But then dust off your pants and get up. Don't complain, oh, no, 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 I can't do it. It's too hard, and this and that. No, it doesn't work like that. How many times did you fall when you were a baby? And now every one of you is walking comfortably. Remember your first driving experience? Holding the car, holding the steering. Oh, look, another car is coming in front. What should I do? You did that, right? And where are you today? No more fear. You're eating and talking and driving. Much in the same way, spirituality also is. So understand that, and that's it. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. So profound message from Gurudev. Let's do our kirtan, and then we will get into Yog Vashisht. Okay. जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश पाहि मां श्री गणेश श्री गणेश रक्ष मां शरवण भव पाहि मां कार्तिकेया रक्ष मां जय सरस्वती पाहि मां श्री सरस्वती रक्ष मां जय गुरु शिव गुरु हरि गुरु राम जगत गुरु परम गुरु सद्गुरु श्याम ओम आदि गुरु अद्वैत गुरु आनंद गुरु ओम चिद घन गुरु चिन्मय गुरु ओम Jagat Guru Om Guru Sachitananda Shankracharya Shivananda Jyotirmayananda Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Om Hara 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 Namah Shivaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Anjaneya 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 Pahi Mam Hanumanta 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 Raksha Mam Om Shakti Om Shakti Pahi Mam Brahma Shakti Vishnu Shakti Shiva Shakti Raksha Mam Adi Shakti Maha Shakti Para Shakti Pahi Mam Ichha Shakti Kriya Shakti Jnana Shakti Raksha Mam Gangarani 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 Pahi Mam Bhagirathi 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 Raksha Mam Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari 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 Om Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti 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 Om. So let us continue our journey of Yoga Vashistha. We are getting to the concluding stages. Last week we had studied section 210 together. It is known as Brahman becomes all through the power of illusion. So Vashishth Muni is guiding Lord Ramachandra about the journey to enlightenment, and they were sharing all that. And then there was the story of King Pragya, uh, and then he was explaining, Vashishth Muni was explaining different questions, um, and he was providing the answers to all the questions that the king had asked. So we will continue from there. King Pragyapati was the name of the king where the sage had gone, and now the sage is narrating his experience to his divine student Lord Rama himself. So, O king, follow the path of self realization. That is what Vashishth Muni told King Pragyapati. Pragya itself means intuitive intellect. So that's what it means. Otherwise, there is plenty of intelligence in the world. We are going to Mars, we are finding cures for corona, and cancer cures are coming now. Human beings, we are doing heart transplants. We are doing so many things with our intellect, but that intellect is limited to the body and to the space, time and space. But what we are talking about, Pragyapati, this king, Pragya means intuitive intellect. That intellect means not worldly, outside of time and space. So that comes through humility, self effort, a guru disciple relationship where there is purity and where there is total, like Lord Rama and Sage Vasistha, like Lord Krishna and Arjuna. So it's a sacred bond, a sacred relationship. And if one follows it in that sacred manner, giving it the proper respect, the humility, the love, and the self effort, then prajna comes through God's grace. We cannot create it through our, just by our self effort, to say, okay, it's a 9-month course, let me do that day and night and then I'll get prajna. It's not so simple. It comes through humility, compassion, love, and most importantly, purification. Purification. We cannot say something, do something else, and expect God to be happy. But yet we are a mixed bag, isn't it? We have um, vices and virtues combined. We have some good things, some bad things. So sometimes bad seeds operate, germinate, sometimes good ones germinate. And the three gunas you all know: sattva, rajas, tamas, purity, action, inertia. So which guna is operating when? This is why the process becomes a little challenging. थोड़ा कष्ट आता है इसमें, तो तपस्या करना पड़ता है, तो प्रज्ञा प्राप्त हो जाता है, प्रज्ञा can be achieved. So this is what he is telling the king also, Vashishth Muni, that follow the path of self realization, nothing else is worth it. What? Give me this, God. We are like beggars only, always begging from God. God, give me this, God, give me this, God, give me this, may I get this, may I get. Arey, what? You have had so many embodiments. And this is also another one of those millions of embodiments. So don't make it such a big deal that this is your whole being. You are only seeing a little drop of the ocean. Like picking a drop from the ocean. So you are the ocean, not this drop, remember. So become peaceful in your mind, healthy in your body, and dispassionate in your senses. How beautiful is that advice? Have peace inside, health in the body. Why? Because how can a weak body do things? So you do whatever cards we have been dealt with. Well, they say if we are handed a lemon, make lemonade out of it. Don't complain. Whatever this karma gati badi sankari, this process of karma is very confusing. There are people who are born blind, Surdas ji and so on, in America, Stevie Wonder and so on, and yet they do wonders upon wonders, isn't it? Handicapped, no eyesight, yet doing so many different big things. Much in the same way, we had Surdas ji in India, who was a very, very famous poet, but born blind. So he says, uh, keep your body healthy to the extent possible. Whatever, however we are, whatever we can do, of course, observing our constraints as needed, and then dispassionate in your senses. That's very important. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम अपनी इंद्रियों को वश में रखें. कहना बहुत आसान है कि इंद्रियों को वश में करो, बट दीज आर लाइक हॉर्सेस, वाइल्ड हॉर्सेस, दे रन हियर देयर. एंड इफ द माइंड is the chariot driver, intellect is the chariot driver, and the mind are the reins of the horse. We have to control it. So without it, we will be lost. The horses will go everywhere. So our senses are like that. So, and thus move on to the highest blessedness. So here, very good advice Vashishth Guruji is giving to Pragyapati, that learn to find peace within, good health, and control of senses. Then that is the recipe for bliss. आनंद वहां से आपको प्राप्त हो जाएगा. Moving on to this complete section 210. So now we'll move on to section 211 and 212 combined. The world is nothing but Brahman. See, one thing we will say, we repeat, most of these things are repeated again and again and again, because it's like learning. Once you have learned A for apple, B for boy, now you can make capital letters, small letters, complex sentences. Vocabulary is what? Just combination of these things only. Those 26 letters we get in English, 50 in Sanskrit. Double almost. That's why Sanskrit is a very deep language. Even NASA has picked it up for its research. They had 75 out of 75 languages. They picked Sanskrit because it's the most phonetically proper. There is no confusion. You say it exactly how you read it, and it's also got that binary code systems and so on. And in Sanatan Dharma, we say in Sanskrit, the first 13 letters came from Lord Shiva, his damru, his drum beat, dum dum dum. Actually, everything is a cosmic hum only. We are, Om is a cosmic hum, this world is a hum, and we are all on that, sitting on that drum beat. But that's not, we don't need to get caught into that. We just have to be aware of it, that Sri Vashistha said, now having nothing is, everything is Brahman, meaning ultimately there is nothing but a dream. Everything is like a dream, then you wake up. So therefore this world is nothing but an illusion. That's what this section is. The world is nothing but Brahman. In essence, in its core form, the world is simply God particle. We literally called it God particle in 2013 when we broke the atom, right? That's what we did. We broke the atom, and we called it, why? Because even science couldn't explain what is this concept that is keeping us all alive. I mean, other than this oxygen and air, water, how is this possible that things are changing the way they are? And what is this mystery? Same thing Sanatana Dharma has been saying for thousands of years. Sanatan basically means timeless, meaning time immemorial. There is no time stamp, no date stamp, which is what science also says. There is no time stamp to this world. We cannot say only when 2000 years ago Christ was born, then everything came into existence. He is one of the sages, one of the saints who came 2000 years ago, got enlightened. Buddha did the same thing, Krishna did the same thing, Rama did the same thing, and so many sages and saints. This time stamp has got nothing to do with it. People will be coming and going and all the time. They have been doing it, they are doing it now, and they will be doing it in the future. So it's all the divine principle only. There are good people and bad people. They will always be in every yuga, whether we say Kali Yuga, Sati Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, it continues on and on. So Vashisht Muni saying, having fulfilled the wishes of King Pragyapati and having been worshipped by him, I coursed through the sky to reach the heavenly world. Now you will remember King Pragyapati was asking all kinds of questions, all kinds of questions. So then Sage Vasistha answered it in very simple terms, and he answered all those questions now, and he concluded by saying, get enlightened. While it is dark, you say, where is the sun, where is the sun? But you have closed your windows, dark curtains, black curtains inside your dark room, and you say, there is no sun, show me where it is. You come out. The problem is in your own room, in your own perception, in your own thinking. Otherwise, outside the sun is full of its brilliance, radiance, and lighting up the whole world, isn't it? But if you are sulking in your room with dark curtains and complaining about the world, he did this to me, she did this to me, then what happens? Nothing. Who's the problem? So Sri Rama asked, so Vashisht Muni says, having been worshipped, I coursed through the sky to reach the heavenly world, which means through the Sankalpa, these saints have siddhis. Siddhis meaning mystical mysteries. When we see a saint fly, you say, oh my God, what is that? How is that possible? But when a bird flies, nobody says that. Why? Because we don't see human beings flying, we see birds flying. So It's no longer a novelty, isn't it? You see flowers blooming, nobody says a miracle occurred. But if you see somebody levitate, you say, oh my God, what is that? See, the world is like that only. World is all confused. Sri Rama asked, O sage, how do we see the worlds of the Siddhas, Sadhyas, Yama, Brahma, Vidyadharas, and Devas? And also, how do we see the dwellers therein? Lord Rama is asking a very beautiful question. He says, "Oh sage, where are you flying to? You're saying you were here. Now you are going through the sky to somewhere else, and then there are all these world systems. All we know about is our little world, like that Disney world. It's a small world after all. That's all we know. A million earths can fit into our small little sun, and this small little sun, millions of these suns can fit into the bigger suns and bigger stars and so on. It's endless. So this concept has to be deeply understood, you see. So what is our little world? Our little, then our little continents. Within those continents are little countries. Within the countries, the little cities and the little streets and the little houses we live in. We are as insignificant as little ants, smaller than ants in the big cosmic world, like a grain of sand, not even that. And then we have big egos. Somebody says something you don't like, now you're mad at that person. 25, 30 years of relationships are broken up. Sometimes brothers and sisters fight over property or this or that, who knows. All kinds of things happen in this world because egos are so fragile that we have not understood what God is trying to teach us in a deeper way. All this is transient. When we depart from this planet Earth, not even the eye of a broken needle can go with us, isn't it? Even the very rings you are wearing, what will happen to them? Will they accompany you to sky in your astral body? No, it will be given away to your daughter or son or something, and then eventually it will all also disappear. So all these world systems are beyond our perception, but those siddhas, enlightened sages, and that those kind of people, they have the ability to easily create the vision of these systems, like where the Lord, where Brahma resides, where the Vidyadharas, Devas reside, and so on. So Rama is saying, how can we see them? What should we do, etc. So Sri Vashistha explained. Vashistha said, O Rama, by adopting the technique of special dharanas. What is dharana? Sage Patanjali teaches in Raja Yoga. He guides us that there are the first 5 steps, are external. They are um, yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar. Right. So we are not going to go deep into those because that is not the focus of our discussion. Otherwise, that itself can take an hour. More than that, just those 5. So then comes the remaining 3. The first 5 are external observances, ethical constraints, then asanas, body postures, pranayama, how to breathe properly, and then pratyahar means how to control the senses and go within. Then only we are qualified to do meditation. A lot of people try to sit right away, do meditation. They eat heavily last night, no worries about diet, and then they say, why can't I focus properly? Well, how can you? It's like you have to go through a discipline properly, be like a well trained sadhak. Sadhak is an aspirant, then you will understand it better. But the remaining 3 here are called dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So Sage Vasistha is saying, when you are in that form where you become one with the object of meditation, at that level there is no difference between you and the object, which means you are no longer in body form. You have thinned out yourself to that great an extent. So what is dharana? Focusing on an object, one object, not hundreds of objects, one object of your liking, whether it's a flower, a candlelight, a flame, Krishna, Rama, Hanuman, Jesus, whatever, it doesn't matter, but it has to be of your liking. जिसको आप पसंद करो, that is important. So once you do that, and now what will happen? Your mind will, in one, thoughts are coming, thoughts are coming, thoughts are coming. Like how? Like waves are coming, waves are coming. Do you think the ocean will ever stay calm? Waves will continue to come. So what should you do? You should then create the same thought pattern and keep the other unnecessary thoughts out. So if you are thinking of Rama, think of the glories of Rama, think of interconnections of Rama, Bharata, Hanuman, Sita Mata, and his fighting with Ravana. All that is okay. Initially you start like that. You give your mind a bigger leash, like you give a leash to your dog. You don't want him, if he doesn't have a leash, he'll bite other people. If he's a vicious dog, then you will be sued, in trouble. So you have to make sure that the leash is equal to what you can control. Isn't it? So initially you control those thoughts like that. Concentration, then you convert it into meditation. First you start building your thoughts into the object. Slowly what will happen? Your mind will start relaxing. The waves will start, if in a lake, like the waves start to become calm, and then that is called concentration. Concentration. And the third state is called samadhi. Third state. In the third state, do nothing. If you can do the second state, just continue the second state. Continue it, continue it, continue it. No other thought should come. Just maintain it in a steady state. Just like a flame that is steady. If you go outside where its wind is blowing, the flame will flicker and then it will extinguish. But if you are inside in a controlled environment, in your prayer room, and there you light this candle and it's steady, look at it, gaze on it, and your mind will start to become steady. It won't happen immediately unless you have been doing it for a while. If you are advanced aspirants, then you will all benefit. You will be able to quickly do it. So it's regularity, consistency, not doing it for one night, doing it for 5 hours. That is not good. 15 minutes, 20 minutes every day consistently, just like you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you eat your breakfast. You have a rhythm in your life. So bring that rhythm into your meditation. And then the third thing is samadhi, which is automatic. You don't do anything for samadhi. All you do is you focus, keep that image focused, and then you will find expansion in your heart. What does that mean? That means that now you are finding that bliss come in automatically, provided you have maintained that thoughtless state. Very important. But don't be frustrated if the thoughts are coming. You have to do it over time. Slowly the thoughts will start to go down. Ideally you should do meditation at the same place at the same time, um, and especially in a sanctified corner with proper purity. Take a shower, burn some incense, light a candle, then look at it, create an environment of purity around you, and then you will be in that zone, so to speak, in that place that is giving you total peace. Otherwise it will not happen. So you half-hearted attempts are not good. So you have to do it regularly, no matter how much time you have. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you start with that. That's okay. But generally 1 hour is more than enough for even advanced aspirants. You don't have to And then if your legs are not supportive and you are getting older, or your legs, you can't sit cross-legged, no problem, sit on a chair, but make sure your back, your neck and your head is in a straight line without stiffness in it. So while you are straight, you should make sure that you are breathing fully and in a relaxed manner without making the backbone too stiff. Just breathe in and out gently, and then samadhi will occur, which means, let me use a simpler example so you can all understand. You take a, like the rays of the sun on a sunny day, you take a magnifying glass and you take a piece of paper, small thin piece of paper that's combustible, right? And then make a reflection of the sun through the magnifying glass in on the paper, so you will see that little reflection come. See, that state is known as dharana, because you are now uh, using these only two resources are needed from you. The third one God provides, the sun. You don't create the sun. So you are basically channeling, harnessing the rays, transcending it from the magnifying glass onto the image of the paper. So that is called dharana. See, dharana. So then what happens? Dhyana, the second stage. So what will happen? Either the paper will move, or your hand will shake, the magnifying glass will shake. You have to do it all over again till you can maintain that still image. And when that still image comes, what should you do? Nothing. Just hold it. Don't you shake a bit. Don't you change anything. Let that image be totally transcended into that paper, and now you stay like a picture, like a painted picture. Don't change, don't move, don't, just breathe gently. That's it. Nothing else should happen. And what should you do? Suppose you are able to maintain it consistently. What will happen? Boom! All of a sudden, it will start getting hot and fire will emerge. So that first stage of you taking your tools, picking up your magnifying glass, finding the sun rays, creating the image onto the paper, all that is considered dharana. Then comes your stage of focusing and staying steady. That is called dhyana. And then the final, do nothing. If you are steady, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady, keep it steady, nothing else. Samadhi will occur automatically. So that state, in that state, what happens? The paper has now burnt up, fire has emerged out of it. Similarly, in your consciousness, what will happen? You will expand. Your consciousness expands, and that expansion creates the fire that burns up your karmas. समझ गए? उससे आपके कर्म सब जल जाते हैं. Those karmas get extinguished, and when that happens, you find immense peace and bliss, and you come out refreshed and changed. You are no longer the same. Even 5 seconds of that state is not simple. It takes practice, but it's a very high state. That those 5 seconds, you have transcended time and space in a, just like we were saying in the previous example, -2 +2. Now you have changed it into a positive event. And that is how you keep doing it, keep doing it. One day you get enlightened. Why? Because you are constantly expanding your consciousness. But who will get enlightened? Not somebody who is selfish, not somebody who is saying, oh, let me quickly get enlightened. Hell with all those people. They are not, they are lazy, they are not doing it, I'm doing it, so may I get it. No, there is no I here. Everybody is entitled to it. We are all same, related to the same cosmic God, one. So so that's all you need to do. Siddhas and others at any time, whether during the day or the night, above or below, in front, those words are mental creations, and so too is our world. So what is Vashisht Muni trying to tell you? That everything is a mental creation. If you don't understand something, then we just have to go deeper and deeper and deeper to understand it. The journey to 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Nothing is automatic, nothing will happen immediately. So we have to put in the time and effort, and then it comes. So Brahman, Vashistha Muni is explaining, Brahman is formless, immutable, of the nature of pure consciousness and the embodiment of peace. All those things are Brahman. So Brahman meaning that one God, one consciousness through which we are all created. We are all images of that consciousness. So it is the embodiment of peace, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That's why we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. We don't say it once or twice, we say it 3 times. One for our body and mind, one for our interactions in the world, and the third one is for cosmic changes like earthquakes and floods and famines, all those things. So ultimately, what is Rama's question? How do you see, how do you get to that state? And he says the Siddhas by their mental will have given rise to their different worlds as illusory projections on Brahman. Just like you see this world as real. Why do you see it as real? Because it's an illusory projection on our chitta. It's an illusory projection on our consciousness. In fact, everyone discovers a world according to his mental conviction, isn't it? So therefore we say there are as many worlds as there are minds. Isn't it so? Why? Because to each person, his world is totally different. The world of a cow is very different than the world of a human being, and the world of a rat or a cat is very different than one of a cow. So basically our senses even are very, very different. The nose of a dog can smell very deep. Just looking, he can smell a luggage and know where the drugs are. That's why you see them at the airports, so many dogs. So the Siddhas by their mental will have given rise to different worlds as illusory projections on Brahman. So what does that mean? That we can create these images and our perceptions through our consciousness. But to get to that state, we have to achieve that samadhi state. That's the point where the sage Vashistha can do it. Most human beings cannot. So in fact, everyone discovers a world according to his mental conviction. The worlds of the celestial beings appear void for human beings, while the worlds of human beings are devoid for the celestial beings. Meaning that there is this time and space and distance that creates our own entity through ignorance. So therefore we say ignorance is bliss, and we stay in our own little world, including your own world. When you were 2 years old, when you were born, and where you are today, try to chart that journey to see what all has gone on in your life, how you have changed, how your world has changed, how your perception has changed. Using one simple example, when you were a baby, you perhaps loved your favorite blanket or a favorite teddy bear or whatever toy you liked. Many of us like that. And then if somebody told you when you were 2, give me this toy, give me your teddy bear, I'll give you $2 million. What would you do? If that toy was taken away from your hand, you would get very mad and cry. You didn't care about that $2 million. It was worthless to you. You didn't know what they are. Now, if somebody says that, when you are 25, 30, suddenly you will say, oh, take my house, take this, all that, give me my 2 million and I'll be happy. Why? What changed? What has changed? Your perception of the role of that value that you have placed on that object. Does that make sense? This is how we are growing in different stages, whether they are at the Siddha's level or our level or anybody else's level. So while when you were a child, nobody could take that teddy bear away from you, and when you grow up, you automatically give that teddy bear, isn't it? Suppose you are 25, you don't take your teddy bear everywhere. You outgrow it. You may nostalgically think about it once or twice, you may enjoy it, but you will not be attached to it. Now you are attached to your cars, to your um, whatever jewelry, diamonds, and cars, and whatever. Each person has his own list. So there is no right or wrong answer. We are simply saying here that we continuously change. Suppose you give a cow a diamond necklace or put a gold necklace on her. What would she say? Do you think she'll be very excited? Thank you for it? Huh? It would make no difference to her whether you give her a simple necklace or a golden necklace or a diamond necklace or a necklace made of shoes. She will accept everything equally. So, just as the dream world of a dreaming person appears void for another who is awake, even so the world that is experienced by one type of being appears void for another type of being. So, you understand what we are saying here? That in a dream, suppose there are 10 people sleeping in a room or in a tent, like you have gone camping or whatever, or you're in one big room, you're all sleeping. Each of you will have a different dream, although your physical space is exactly the same room you are all sleeping in, same kind of cots you are all sleeping in, but each one is going and creating a different space and having a different experience of a different world altogether. So what is it? When you wake up, there is no world. When you were sleeping, there was a big world, and for all 10 of you, you will all have different experiences. Some may have horrible dreams, some may have a very good dream, and some may have no dream. So even so, the world that is experienced by one type of being appears void for another type of being. This is why spirituality becomes complicated for most people to understand. All you have to do is remember, there is only, in our solar system, there is only one sun. Much in the same way, there is only one Atma, one consciousness. But like the sun can have, how many reflections can the sun have? Can you count them? No. Suppose you have a piece of mirror and you are seeing one big reflection. Now you break the mirror into 100 pieces, there will be 100 new reflections there. That reflection of the sun in every dewdrop on the grass, on every blade of grass, there is a reflection of the sun. In the morning, sometimes when you wake up early and you walk, you will see that. So countless expressions of the sun's reflection, yet there is only one sun, isn't it? Only one sun. So therefore, we should understand that each person is Brahman, has God particle in him, but like a reflection of the sun. So if that reflection is in a pure water or a dirty water, or in a cup or in a pond, so all of us shake, and we are therefore called Jivatma, and God is known as Paramatma. Paramatma means the cosmic God, one divine God of principle, and so that is one Brahman, one God, Paramatma, and we are Jivatma, which means whether we are a mosquito or an ant or a cat or a blade of grass that grows or a human being, we all have that one consciousness within, one consciousness, meaning God particle, his existence, that's what makes that grass seed grow. That's what makes us humans grow. Now there you can say there is a difference in perceptions, and yes, human life is more evolved, and therefore we are capable of attaining liberation. So that is there, but ultimately that God is in everything. That's why we say respect all life form. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Ahimsa means non-violence. That's therefore live your life in non-violence, because it is the biggest dharma. So one may experience one's own death in a dream, and yet that dream world is non-existent, isn't it? In your dream, while you're sleeping, you see lights, you see forms, you hear sounds, you go through good, positive and negative experience, fear and joy. You really experience it. So in the same manner, the world in the waking state is illusory and unreal, just like your dream state is unreal. But you cannot say it's unreal. Why? Because it was real when you were dreaming, wasn't it? Otherwise, what did you see? Sometimes you so vividly explain your dream. You know, I saw this, there was this color, then a fairy came, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then I saw this black snake. Everything you know and you experience, but when you wake up, it's all gone. Same thing is in this waking world also. While we say it is real, it appears real, it hurts us, we have a pain and we go through things, ultimately it's no different than your dream. So with this we conclude our satsang. We will continue this journey next Friday, where we will continue to discuss 211 and 212. So yes, this is a very deep topic, and this is the concluding stage. So it's perfectly fine, Janaji, if you're not understanding some things, you can always call me separately, but just know you have jumped into very deep waters right away. So we have been doing this thing for years and years. I mean, it takes 5-6 years to conclude this Yoga Vashistha book, and it has many deep concepts for all of us, and there are no right or wrong answers. Just like philosophy is full of depth and knowledge. So as we all grow, um, it's a blessing that you are here, maybe due to some good actions of your past lives. Otherwise you would not have come back. Many people come once and they can digest it, the energy doesn't let them, and then that simply means they are not ready for it. But those who are determined, I'm pleased to see Radhaji is, and all of you sincere aspirants that are here regularly, all of you sadhaks. To me, I look at you as aspirants. Aspirants means those devotees who are aspiring to do something with their life, not just waste it in sense pleasures and then die. That's what rest of the world does. But when very high merits come to you, when you have done many good deeds, does one come under the umbrella of an enlightened sage, and there under that guidance we all receive. And satsang by itself, satsang, association of truth, is considered one of the gatekeepers to the palace of liberation. No more birth, no more death, perpetual bliss, perpetual happiness. That's why it's required. And not only beyond this body, right here in this life only, right now you will start to see expansion and joy and bliss and transformation in your life, in your life. And so those of you who have experienced that, I think Yogini ji is perfect to explain how many changes she has seen. I was seeing her old post from 7 years ago today. And then you see the changes, that you know how we now have evolved. And if you are not evolving, if you are if anger is not reducing, lust is not reducing, greed is not reducing, we are the same, then I will say these satsangs are a waste of your time. Why even do it? Just go enjoy life and indulge in sense pleasures and forget about it. But If you are changing, if you are finding bliss and happiness, then don't leave it for anything else. You be the judge, you judge yourself, you be your own examiner. There is nobody else to test you. This is very high level satsang. Nobody talks at this level because very few enlightened people are there in this world. Very, very few. And we are blessed to have one of them here, our Guru. And even then, he is 92 now. So every day we have with him in his human form is a huge blessing. So with this, we conclude our satsang. Hari Om Tat Sat. We will see you on Sunday for Srimad Bhagavad Gita from here only, because the temple, we are not going for the next 2 weeks as we announced last time. So let's do our arti together. Arti is the waving of the light. Why do we wave the light? Just simply to recap, because we do it as such a ritual that many of you may not know the deeper meaning. We wave the light because we want the light within us. We respect God and our Guru, and so we wave the light to Guru and God and all the divinities to say, oh God, this light, this fire element has come from you. So may this fire of aspiration and mukti and liberation come in us also. So please bless us. And therefore and also it gives us humility, where we recognize that there is a higher power than us human beings. we think we know it all. Believe me, we know nothing. The next breath, we don't know when it will be the last. So with that gratitude to God, he fills your lungs with air every single time, and he puts you to bed, he wakes you up. There is deep intelligence in everything. So this is his world. We are living in God's world. This is not your world or my world, not the scientist's world, not the educated people's world or the poor people's world. We didn't create it. The earth, the water, the fire, the air, the ether, which one of these things has man created? You tell me. Can we create a cow that generates milk like the real milk and the real thing that we see, and how milk comes in a mother's breast when she is ready to deliver a baby, and then everything is being done by the cosmic plan. So always have that gratitude, that humility, and strive to connect your conscience to the super conscience, Paramatma, Atma Paramatma, as we explained. So with this, let's do our arti together, which we call the waving of the light. So that's why it has the five the elements of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And then when we light it, we also chant the arti, meaning the glories of God. And in this arti that we sing is the Shivananda arti, divine life society arti. There are two kinds. There are many kinds of artis, one for each god, but the arti that we sing is basically covering every single god, everything. Ultimately it's only one god. They are not different gods. Like Durga is not different from Lakshmi, or Rama is not different from Krishna, but all these are variations, like your wardrobe. Sometimes you wear red, sometimes you wear orange or blue. You accessorize, but ultimately they are clothes, they are covering your body, isn't it? That's how this whole thing is meant to be in bliss. So with this, let's do our arti together. Hari Om Tat Sat. जय जय आरती विघ्न विनायक श्री गणेशा। जय जय आरती सुब्रमण्य कार्तिकेया। जय जय आरती वेणुगोपाला वेणुलोला पाप विदुरा नवनीत चोरा। जय जय आरती वेंकटरमणा संकट हरणा सीता रामा राधे श्यामा जय जय आरती गौरी मनोहर भवानी शंकर सांबा सदा शिव उमा महेश्वर जय जय आरती राजराजेश्वरी त्रिपुर सुंदरी महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाशक्ति जय जय आरती आंजनेया हनुमंता जय जय आरती दत्तात्रेया त्रिमूर्ति अवतारा जय जय आरती सद्गुरुनाथा शिवानंदा सद्गुरुनाथा ज्योतिर्मयानंदा जय जय आरती वेणुगोपाला ओम राजाधिराजाय विद्महे प्रसय्यसाहिने नमो वयं वैश्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मयम् ॐ गंगे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी नमस्तुभ्यं नमो नमः ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांतिः 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 ओम करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितम वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्महवि ब्रह्मग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम् ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिनः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राण अपान समायुक्ता पचामन्यं चतुर्विधं हरिः ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मर्पणमस्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांतिः शांतिः शांतिः. So one more thing, when we do this arti and when it concludes, you must have seen me touch my eyes 3 times. What we are basically saying there is that may this light come within us, may through our eyes may we see all that is auspicious, and then may this light go within us, this light of divine consciousness. Therefore there are deep meanings behind every ritual that is done, although we shouldn't do too many, just do enough where you feel you blend devotion and meditation and wisdom together. So that is integral yoga. With this we conclude our satsang. Hari Om Tat Sat. Divine blessings to all of you, especially those of you in England who have to wake up so early. So lots of blessings to each and every one of you. It's not easy giving up your priorities no matter what you're doing. Everybody leaves what they are doing and consistently we get together. It's always about quality, not quantity. It's better to be sincere and do it regularly than to try to do big things in a short time. That is not the guidance our Guru has given us, and that's not what we want to do. So do things with love and with compassion with kindness, and may you all get Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti. Shakti, strength, because we all need strength. Ma Durga will give you that. She has all the weapons. And Ma Lakshmi will give you devotion and meditation. She is full of, she sits on a lotus. Just looking at her can get you to meditation stage. And then Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and the goddess of music. That is, it flows. So may all these divine energies touch each of you as you are putting in your sincere self effort. Shakti, Bhakti, Mukti. Hari Om Tat Sat. We conclude our satsang for today, and I will see you on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Hari Om Tat Sat. There we do Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So may you all be blessed. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.